Hey guys, today I'm trying to understand day trading, and my brain already feels like it's turning into soup. Right now, I'm sitting in my cave, yelling at a glowing red line on my screen while my pot of mammoth stew boils over in the corner. I just threw a bone at the laptop, but the line's still going down. My wife shouts from across the fire, "Are you seriously burning dinner over some squiggly numbers? I thought day trading would make me rich." I clicked a button, the numbers went up. I felt powerful, then they dropped, fast, like my cousin Erg falling off a cliff during thunder season. Next thing I know, I'm broke, sweaty, emotionally damaged, and being judged by a goose. Here's the reality. If you don't learn how this thing actually works, you'll end up cold, broke, and alone in a muddy pit clutching a bag of imaginary coins. Even the squirrels will mock you. So before you get cozy on your mammoth skin beanbag, smash the like button and tap that magic scribe stick. But only if something I say makes you laugh or think. Tell Caveman in the comments, where's your cave and what moon time is it? Now grab a rock to sit on, hold on to your beard, and let's step into the firelight of today's hunt. Let's start with the basics. What even is day trading? At first, cavemen thought it just meant trading things during the day. Like, I give you 2 fish, you give me 3 berries. Just make sure the sun's still up. Simple.wrong, someone told cavemen, buy low, sell high. Sounded smart. So I bought a small rock and tried to sell a bigger one for more shiny rocks. Nobody bought it. I was confused, deeply confused. Then one of the younger tribe members, he had 3 glowing screens and smelled like burnt herbs, explained it to me. No, caveman, he said. Day trading is buying and selling stocks within the same day. Stocks, not meat, not firewood, not even bananas, invisible things. You buy tiny pieces of a company, like Banana Tech or Squirrel Coin, and then sell it minutes later based on what the chart says. I blinked. So it's hunting invisible animals based on squiggly lines? Exactly, he nodded, but with pretend money and panic attacks. Cavemen couldn't resist. I figured if you click the right button at the right time, shiny rocks appear. Click the wrong one, and you end up crying in the river. And caveman doesn't like rivers. They're cold and wet, and geese live there. But caveman loves shiny rocks. So naturally, I gave it a try, and that's when the pain began. It didn't take long before my entire tribe lost their minds. Mornings used to be simple. Light the fire, sharpen spears, stir the stew. But now, everyone's glued to glowing rectangles like they're staring into the spirit world, chanting strange phrases like, buy the dip, short the pump, and it's a bull flag, bro. Even the elders, wise men who used to teach spear balance, are now drawing lines on parchment and arguing about candles. Not real candles, digital ones, that don't burn anything. One guy said this pattern is called a bear flag. I asked, wait, bears have flags now? The kids aren't helping either. Instead of playing with sticks, they're trading lunch berries for crypto tokens. One tried to sell me a mushroom coin. He's 6. My wife stopped cooking one day just so she could watch the market open. When she screamed, "Sell the rip!" I thought the stew had caught fire. People started talking like day trading was the new form of hunting. Why chase a mammoth when I can chase momentum? Why gather wood when I can gather candle patterns? But cavemen noticed something strange. Everyone looked rich, new beads, fancy furs, upgraded bone combs. But no one had stew, no one had sleep. Everyone twitched like they had bees in their skulls. And I started thinking, if day trading brings so much wealth, why does everyone still live in the same stinky cave? Eventually I decided it was my turn. No more watching, no more waiting. I was ready to become a full-time trader and stack more shiny rocks than anyone in the tribe. So I gathered everything I had, my entire stash of shiny rocks, and opened a trading account. The glowing rectangle welcomed me like a portal to fortune. My first pick? Banana Tech. Safe choice. Everyone likes bananas. Even ghosts probably like bananas. But then this shady guy from the rival tribe wandered over. He was wearing knockoff crypto jewelry and talking fast like a scam wizard. He said, "Banana Tech's crashing. Sell it now and buy Magic Coin. It's going to the moon." I didn't know what the moon meant in this context, but he had very confident eyebrows, so I believed him. I sold Banana Tech, went all in on Magic Coin. That night, Banana Tech doubled. Magic Coin crashed harder than my uncle after too much fermented goat milk. I lost everything. There I was, sitting in the dark, stew ruined, screen glowing, face hollow. Even the goose that hangs around my cave waddled up, looked at me, and gave the loudest judgmental honk I've ever heard. But here's the worst part. I didn't just lose money, I panicked. Instead of thinking clearly, I rage sold at the bottom. It was like throwing a spear in a thunderstorm and somehow hitting myself in the foot. The tribe laughed. My wife refused to share her stew, and I spent the night sleeping outside in the cold next to the goose. After that disaster, I wandered off into the woods, broke, bruised, and completely confused. That's when I met old Mukhtar. He's one of the wisest elders in the tribe. Doesn't even own a glowing rectangle. He just sells dried meat and winter boots, yet somehow always has more shiny rocks than anyone. I told him what happened, the whole Banana Tech Magic Coin mess. He didn't laugh, he just looked at me and said, "You hunted something you didn't understand." I said, "But everyone else was doing it." He raised one eyebrow. "If the whole tribe runs off a cliff, do you follow them?" Then he pulled out an old parchment and showed me a chart tracking meat prices during the winter moons. I stared at it. This is a trading pattern?" I asked. He nodded. "You know meat, you know fire, trade that, leave banana-based crypto schemes to the hype monkeys." That's when it hit me. I didn't lose money because I was unlucky. I lost because I was clueless. From that day on, I made a rule. Only trade what I actually understand. If I don't know what a company does or how a coin works or why a chart looks like a heartbeat monitor, I walk away. Because if you don't understand what you're trading, it's not an investment. It's a wild guess with your life savings on the line. No more chasing mystery coins based on confident eyebrows. Even after I started trading things I actually understood, like meat prices and fire rock companies, I still found ways to lose shiny rocks. Why? Because I refused to take a small loss. Every time a trade dipped, I'd say the same thing. It'll bounce back. It always bounces. Spoiler, it didn't bounce. Sometimes it dropped straight through the floor, dug a tunnel, and torched everything I had underground. That's when I met a traveler from the city. He wore shiny shoes, carried a briefcase that smelled like stress, and spoke faster than a squirrel with anxiety. He watched me trade for 5 minutes, shook his head, and said, "You're not using stop losses?" I blinked. "What's that? Some kind of spear defense?" He laughed. "No, a stop loss is an automatic exit. You set a line, and if your trade drops past it, it sells, no questions asked. It's like pulling the ripcord before you splatter." He helped me set one up. I bought Fire Rock Corp at 10 shiny rocks and set a stop loss at 9. Next day, the stock dipped, stop loss triggered. I walked away with a tiny bruise instead of a broken spine. No panic, no breakdown. I even had time to enjoy my stew. Now I use a stop loss every time, not because I expect disaster, but because smart hunters always have a way out. If you don't have an escape plan, the market will gladly hand you a shovel and help you dig your own hole. Eventually, Caveman realized something painful. His biggest trading problem wasn't the market, it was himself. I'd get mad after a small loss and try to win it back immediately. I'd jump into random trades out of frustration. I'd revenge trade like a lunatic with a spear and no plan. At one point, I was yelling at a candlestick chart like it owed me money. My wife walked in, stared at me, and said, "You're not trading, you're having a tantrum." She wasn't wrong. She handed me a leaf with something written on it. Emotion clouds vision, calm catches prey. That hit me harder than any losing trade. So I made a new rule: never trade when emotional. Not when angry, not when greedy. Not when sad, not when hungry, and definitely not after fighting with my in-laws. Now before I trade, I breathe, I sip stew, I stretch. Sometimes I light a calming candle. Sometimes I yell into a pillow first just to get it out. Because here's the truth. Emotion is not your edge. It's your enemy. And if you don't get it under control, it'll hijack your brain, nuke your portfolio, and leave you sobbing in your cave wearing a towel in regret. After everything, bad trades, emotional spirals, stew-stained shame, Caveman finally learned the most important lesson of all. Patience beats panic. Every time. Back when I started, I chased everything. Every spike, every dip. Every loud tweet from some guy with a cartoon profile picture yelling, "To the moon!" I wasn't trading, I was gambling, spamming buttons and hoping for the best while panicking in the process. Then I remembered how real hunters operate. They don't throw spears at every rustling bush. They wait, they watch, they track the mammoth for days, sometimes weeks before making their move. And when they strike with confidence. So I started doing the same thing with trading. If I don't see a setup I understand, I don't trade. If the market looks chaotic, I don't force it. If my brain's not clear, I log off and go chop wood. Some days I trade, some days I just observe, and some days I nap with a chart open and call it research. But guess what? I win more now. And not just money, I win peace. I sleep better, I eat better. Even the goose has started respecting me again. Caveman doesn't trade like a squirrel anymore. Caveman trades like a predator. And predators know it's better to wait for the mammoth than chase every squirrel and starve. After all the disasters, misclicks, and public stew breakdowns, Caveman has one final message. Day trading is not a magic button. It's not a shortcut. It's not a get-rich-by-Thursday scheme. It's not a golden spear that hits every time. It's a skill, a discipline, a mental game where the opponent is often your own brain. And if you approach it like a panicked squirrel, with no plan, no patience, and too much coffee, it'll chew through your shiny rocks, your confidence, and your peace of mind. But if you approach it like a real hunter with preparation, calm, and respect for the game, then maybe, just maybe, the glowing rectangle will reward you, not with a private island, but with clarity, confidence, maybe even a little extra stew. So if this video made you laugh, or think, or realize you've been emotionally drop-kicking your account, smash the like button. So if this video made you laugh, or think, or realize you've been emotionally drop-kicking your account, smash the like button, tap the magic scribe stick, tell Caveman in the comments, what's the dumbest trade you've ever made? No shame here, we've all been there. You survive it, you learn, you become the better version of yourself, one mammoth at a time. Ooga booga.